service?
So bad bombing off them. So I'll go ahead do another one. Well, I'll go get my own dailies and work on those. This village is constantly fall. Why are you here?
You are most welcome.
It can be difficult for our veteran to grow accustomed to a peaceful setting, but that is our duty. These villagers do not long for war. Let us not bring it to their doorstep if we do not have to. Traitor! Bitch made. If you AoE, those guards will try and kill you. I don't know why they're so eager to run down whenever they see me fighting. It's like the weirdest bit of AI. Like, okay, you're fighting a player. Sure. But they see me fighting outright goddamn enemies. And they're like, no, we must stop him. These lesser clans warring with each other in the Vale need to be taught their place. Seek out their champions and eliminate them. Show them that only Rajani have rightful claim here. When warring clans came into the Vale, the Baroque deigned themselves worthy to lay claim to the ancient grounds of Gaulai. They are not. Show these usurpers their place, and you may earn a modicum of favor with the Rajani. Yes. One problem with waging war against other Mogu is that weapons dull and break very quickly when it is used against foes of stone and metal. Being the sole blacksmith among the Rajani, it's sometimes difficult to keep up with a warrior's needs. If you come across any weapons in your battles with the Mogu, I'm sure I could put them to good use. Indeed. Really? 5? Oh, rep discount. Yeah. Indeed. Um... Sword of your enemies is worth 20 of your own, or 5 of your own, something like that. Art of War.
I need a target.
Okay, I was checking the wrong bit, but whatever. Still, only one person. Why are you just leaving your weapons on the ground? Like, Jesus. And again, I don't know why you're there. I think it's just a bit of AI. Well, a bit of phasing overlap or something. Great. Divine Shield. Sadly, new enemies have been made that are entirely loyal. Not loyal. Entirely capable of punching right through my Divine Shield. Wow. I think this calls for its master. A fucking dangerous looking Mogu just turns up. It's kind of a... No, I kind of like the idea of it being like from beyond the grave sort of deal. You know, you always hear stories of dogs lying under master's grave and just withering away there. It's still devoted. And I know, it's depressing as hell, but it's beautiful. And like, even from beyond the grave, they're a tag team. That, like, I will have, like, if that's what it's meant to be, like, you know, I have to give Blizzard that. That is actually pretty beautiful. That's pretty beautiful. I'm tearing up here because that just plays on the heartstrings, you know? Again, go watch Karakuri Circus. They have bits, not quite the same sense of like that in it, but they had stuff in it that plays me like a fiddle. If you don't want spoilers, blank your ears for a moment. Mute me. Okay. I'll spin them out like this once it's safe. So. In Karakuri Circus, there's a bit where they are approaching the Doll Francine at the end of the circus. They fought their way through. And one of the main guys, the guy built like a brick shithouse, is heavily wounded. He's been upgraded so he can regenerate wounds, everything. But he's still in such a bad place where he's going to die very soon. Despite that, that's how badly injured he is. And he's still pushing forwards. One of the guys who's fighting alongside, when he had been initially attacked by that doll and her minions, he couldn't help but admire her beauty. But now that he looked upon her again, he couldn't see it at all. Not when he had true beauty in front of him. The guy staggering along, half dead, still trying to strike down, you know, the enemy. That just plays me like a goddamn fiddle. That just plays me like a goddamn fiddle. Then there's a bit later when those people with him they've died, heroic sacrifice here or there, and the other guy he already lost an arm. He had to have the other 3 limbs cut off to stop the crystallification from happening, and they were replaced with the limbs of the guy's combat puppets. And the girl that was with him, and she clearly has something for him, but it never goes anywhere. she's at least hitting the cliches. She's more lamenting this, but he accepts it and says that, yeah, this is plays me like a fiddle, so I'm tearing up here. That they aren't puppet parts; they're the souls of his friends. And yeah, it just plays me like a fiddle. I'm tearing up just talking about it, and it's a silly circus anime thing. Seriously, Google that, you'll find it. It's beautiful. There's just bits in it that play me like a fucking fiddle. And even thinking about it now, I'm tearing up just because it's beautiful. But go fucking watch it if you haven't already. There. Mouse spazzing. Yes, it's safe now. Hopefully, if you didn't want to hear spoilers, you were safe. I should have done a countdown. But yeah, it's a very good anime. It's a very good anime. Oh, there's another bit I could have brought up. Oh, no, I'm not going to stop again. But, yeah, seriously, go watch it. I can tell you what it is in a more general sense. And to tell you without spoiling things. Basically, it's actually very hard to give you an accurate summation without spoiling things, because it starts off with one plot line, which is, it's resolved pretty early on, then it spins into something very different. It spins into different plot lines that are very different, so talking beyond that initial thing is heavy spoiler territory. So how do and I'm just terrible at articulating things, because I know I'm just terrible at articulating things. I just I'm not sure how best to describe things. I feel like, okay, I'm saying too much here, I'm saying not enough there, but where's the good middle ground, you know? So yeah, basically it centers around 3 characters. A young boy, whose name I can't remember. Big guy, whose name I can't remember. And then a French girl with silver eyes and hair called Shirogane. Or having Japanese name is explained in story, it's not just being weird. But anyway, yeah, spoilers, I guess. But anyway, she... you don't really do anything to counter me, unlike the other one. Whatever. I suppose you are a non-elite. But, she... Oh, not she. Yeah, these 3... Basically, the kid runs into the big guy quite by accident. The big guy was a promoter for a circus. He was in a mascot outfit, handing out leaflets. Kid was fleeing from some goons trying to kidnap him, and the other guy stepped in, still in his mascot outfit. He was actually trained in like Chinese martial arts, so he could. And he's a very big guy, so he punches like a fucking freight train. Not that the other guy seemed to care. Some goon in a suit. So yeah, he I thought the slash would be directly in front, not whatever. Yeah, okay, I'm reading the prompts better now. Sure. But yeah, so the kid ends up being the son of a recently dead CEO. And there's like a family. The family didn't care for the fact that this kid that's suddenly brought into the family, he'd been sired out of wedlock and all this, is suddenly named the heir to this old company. So he isn't really turns caster stone and making immune to damage and healing them. Cool. So they don't really care for the fact he's been named successor, and there's a bit of feuding after falling from that. But his grandfather told him that if that never happened, if things were ever going weird or whatnot, to grab this suitcase and fuck off to the local circus. There is a girl there, Shirogane, who would protect them. And on the train ride there, the goons from earlier reappeared. They'd gotten on the train. One even flings themselves in when the big guy tries to engage them, but they're completely resistant to him trying to fist fight them. One of them even flings themselves in front of the train, derailing it. Then they see puppet parts fly past the window. So yeah, turns out in this, it's still episode 1. Turns out in the suitcase there was like a combat puppet, which the girl uses to fend off the surviving goons after the train plows into the circus she's working at. Thankfully, no one was in there beyond her, so that was convenient. Though there's people on the train, but they're fine. There's also, as a side plot, the big guy suffers with a condition, a very strange one, where every so often his body starts seizing up and whatnot. They call it a seizure, but it looks like he's having a heart attack or something. So it's just whatever. He has to make someone laugh, or he will die. And yeah, that's how we end up. When the kid even first ran into the kid, that started happening. They try and explain it a bit in the show. It's like the doc explains it as miswiring of the body, reacting to if someone else is stressed, overreacting to it or something. It's been a long time since I heard the explanation. But yeah, not really the most devastating moves, given that he doesn't have a powerful follow-up. This guy here. But yeah, he... So yeah, there's outright combat puppets. The sizes are bigger of a person. With outright combat puppeteers. The big guy, like 2 episodes down the line, I will spoil this, does figure out the way to fight the puppets mano a mano. He, like I was saying, he was trained in Chinese martial arts. You know, the whole channeling of chi and all that. Yeah, that works. I suppose it's a bit of a spoiler, but fuck it. You know, it's a minor one, all things considered. Like, oh yeah, I was meaning to head straight to the other place and, you know, craft stuff or whatever. I kind of forgot I had this much on me. Should have banked it. Oh, actually, yeah, let's head over here. Corrupted flesh beat, corrupted bone stripper. Kill Azeroth bone stripper. I think these are in the vision or something. But whatever. So yeah, there's more to it than just combat puppets and whatnot. But yeah, it is a good anime. It's like, despite like circus anime, literally Google that, you will find it. Despite such a name, it is a lot better than you'd expect. You know, it is a very good anime. God, it plays me like a fucking fiddle. So I highly endorse it. Please go check it out. The Nizak corruption here is actually pretty mild, really. But yeah, it's a Karakuri Circus. It's a very good anime. I would just basically describe the first episode there to you. But yeah, it's a very good one. Do go check it out. Ow, my ankle. So where is the fucking shrine? You know where the other vision thing is. Nuzlot. No. Minor visions. Lesser visions. But yeah, oh, there's a guide on the salts. Oh, okay, there's only a vision of N'Zoth if it's been invaded by N'Zoth himself. There's also minor forces. Akir, or Manted. Oh, the flying worms here, great worm from beyond. They one shot you if you get into melee range. You get sanity. There's a quest here to improve the void focus. You get sanity by killing people in the battlegrounds. That's among other places, but that's just weird. Yes, I'm more saying now. I've committed war crimes. But yeah, it's a fantastic anime. Go watch it. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. I'm probably not great at, saying what's great about it, but but yeah, basically, there's a wide range. Despite it having such a silly idea, it's the circus anime combat battle puppets, it does it really well. And like I said, there's tons of elements in it that play me like a fucking fiddle. The amount of times I've sobbed watching it. It's really well done. It's really well done. It's beautiful. It's up on Amazon Prime if you want to see it that way. Who knows? There might be DVDs of it out. I'm not sure. But yeah, go take a look. It's beautiful. Ow. Sticking to the chair. Go take a look. It's beautiful. Um, it's a fantastic anime. I'm not sure. I'm terrible at describing things because I'm petrified of saying it wrong, and I know I feel like I don't have. I feel I need to learn it in a textbook before I can apply it elsewhere. But yeah, while it has a silly kind of premise to it, the idea, like the calling the circus anime or whatnot, makes it sound silly. It does it plays with him remarkably well. You know, it's there's so many elements in it that I've sobbed to, watching it or thinking back on. I guess one way you could put it is, yeah, it's got a silly thing to it, but it plays with such sincerity or whatever. You can't help but just end up finding it some of it, beautiful or whatnot. Um, Plus the big guy of the main tree, he also plays into the archetype I like of big guy, big heart. The guy can fucking rip you a new one, but he really cares for people. And that plays me like a fucking fiddle.